your co-host, Patty Andy. I have Peter Bronstein with me as the host of the Ask Brien show. You're listening
How do you spell Brien?
I'll get to that in a minute. I know that's a really important thing. It's I-E-N, yes, Ask, B-R-I-E-N. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. Welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. Peter, my co-host, has created a wonderful website called AskBrien.com. I'm going to let him expand on it, but it's a great resource for business owners. It's business owners basically helping business owners. It's a free resource, very powerful. Peter, share away.
Thank you very much. So we did revise the site recently. Is my mic on? Okay. I couldn't hear myself. We revised the site recently, and our site right now, if you go to an ASKBRIEN, you'll notice a couple of changes to it. One of the changes is we now have a feature called Expert Match. Expert Match is a function whereby people can match a user who has a business problem, can match themselves with an expert, and down the road, it'll be like any other matching service whereby we will actually match you up. But right now, we have the Expert Match, which allows you to pick and choose an expert for any specific business problem you have. Every expert then has a knowledge base. What that means is that each person who's an expert, in order to become an expert, you must be qualified and approved by Ask Brien. It's typically a 2 to 7 day process. And then if you become an expert, you're then allowed to have the Ask Brien Expert badge that you can put on your own website that'll link back to Ask Brien. In addition to that, you then will have your own blog page. In addition to your blog page, you'll be able to upload videos, ebooks, and schedule events or webinars. And subscribers can actually go to a webinar and pick one out and put it on their personal calendar to view at a certain point in time. Anything basically to help people learn about business. That's what Ask Brien's all about. And of course, the basis for it has always been Q&A, questions and answers, asked and answered by now experts in addition to subscribers.
That's so powerful, really, really cool stuff. Before we bring our guest on, I just want to let you guys know that we are on Facebook Live. So if you have any questions, because there's going to be a lot of great questions we want to ask our speaker, go onto the Facebook Live at KHTS on their page and ask questions there. You can also download the app, the KHTS free app in your app store. And Peter, introduce our guest.
And by the way, Ask Brien also has their own app. It's on the iPhone and the Android.
Beautiful.
So you can always download it. Never be far away from solving your business problem.
Yes.
Well, we have a wonderful guest. His name is Deepak Wadhwani. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
It's a little hard to hear right now. I'm not sure what that is. Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me? Is that good?
Having a hard time. We heard you earlier, but
We're having engineering difficulties. Engineering difficulties. Can we solve that?
hopefully we can.
Let me see. Is it good now?
Boy, that's, yeah. So, are you on a landline or a cell phone?
I'm on a mobile,
Yeah, but most people nowadays are on cell phones.
Yeah, this one, I can hear you like you're calling from Mars.
Sure. Let me try a different floor. Can you hear me? I'm done with this.
Yeah, we're not able to hear you. And we heard you just a few minutes ago off
I
air.
heard it fine.
How about here now? Is it good?
A lot of static.
It's static, and I'm not sure where that's coming from.
Is that our end or is that their end? It's his end.
What I'm going to suggest is why don't you do a call back? So why don't you hang up and call back and see if that changes it. Try to be in the best area that you can be in.
And if by some small chance you have access to a landline, try that as well.
That's very difficult.
It's just, I know, but if he has, if you sit it in as a phone.
I don't have one.
That's. Here's a good reason why you should.
Just to call my own show?
Okay. Do you want to introduce his background while he's hanging up and calling back?
Well, I call him the marketing wizard. And basically, he is really attuned to all forms of marketing online. So if you have a business, you're trying to get it online, that's great to have your website, but having a website is not going to help you if you cannot. Is he back?
Is that good?
Can you make it louder?
Let me see if I can.
You're
Is that
still.
good? No?
Well, when we make it louder here, for some reason, there's a static.
A lot of static.
Static, okay, let me change let me give me 1 minute, I'm gonna call back. Okay?
I think it doesn't call back, but I'm just not sure. It was very.
Well, if it doesn't call back, we're going to have a very interesting show. Anyway,
We'll have a conversation about something.
I can talk about a couple different things. And I've only been up since 5:30, so I'm like just about hitting midstream now.
Good deal. So Deepak is a marketing expert online. And everything
For
is
digital
on
marketing.
stage.
So basically, what is digital marketing? Digital marketing technically includes a whole slew of areas. One would be SEO, search engine optimization, and includes search engine marketing. So that would include PPC, ads through Google, ads through Facebook, and anything else.
It will also include any form of social media. So Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. He has an expertise in that area. He's helped people build sites that have sites come to life and basically get views, get people to come to people's sites through social media. His stronghold is in social media. Is he back on yet? No, not yet.
Not yet.
All right. Well, hopefully he'll come back on. I was just told by a listener that the show is echoing on Facebook, so I don't know if you guys can fix that problem. But you might want to take care of that.
Okay.
It just got fixed.
Thank you for that message.
Well, my listeners are very loyal listeners.
I like it.
They want to make sure that we put our best foot forward.
And if it echoes, that means they're hearing us twice, which isn't good because once
I
enough
actually think
is-
that's great because now it's really going to be ingrained. When I say social media, it's not just social media. Social media is social media. That's like really ingraining it.
Okay, is he back? Let's say hello. And
Let's see if it works now.
Better?
Are you there?
Yeah. Is the connection better?
You are there. There is still some connection
yeah,
issues.
There's
I'm on the
a.
ground floor here. I'm in a tall building, that's why. Let me go to the ground
Hold on
floor.
a second.
I'll call from
We're
there.
going to try something on our end. For some reason, we're having a. We're still not able to hear you. We hear you very, very, very faintly, which means our listeners
Okay,
aren't able
I'm
to hear
gonna go to
you.
the ground floor and call from there. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'll get back.
Well, let's see if the engineering team can fix this problem. I'm sure they can. They get paid big dollars, so they should be able to fix the problem. But I was going over your background basically in social media, and as a marketing wizard is what we call you. And basically we're going to be asking you questions to try to help us out here. But right now, I guess the engineering team is trying to come back and see if there's any way we can hear you.
Okay, sure. Give me 1 second, then I should be on the ground floor. I'm going to try to call from there. That's the issue.
Can you make that louder?
On their end.
Every time we increase the volume here,
We're
it's being
yeah, we're
buzzed.
Okay, I'm going to be in the elevator. 1 second. I'm calling.
I can barely hear you.
Let me call you right back. Okay.
okay. Let's take
So-
a quick break here, commercial break. We'll come back. We'll try to deal with this. Sorry for the interruption here, but hopefully when we come back from break, we'll be back on with our speaker. Hang tight.
The VIP Grotto experience at the Ivy Day Spa. Your experience begins with a clay facial mask. Then you are painted with a soothing aloe vera shea butter coconut oil body mask. In temperatured chambers, you relax and allow the moisturizing masks to work their magic. Finally, you rinse off in a rainforest shower and finish with a pH balancing mist. Treat yourself to this hydrating and refreshing experience at the Ivy Day Spa. Call to reserve your VIP Grotto experience at 260-1244.
Buying your home can sometimes be challenging. That's why Charlene Gill with CSMC Mortgage is your Santa Clarita mortgage expert. What's important to you is to secure a loan at the best possible rate, to have a professional guide you through the process, and to close on time. Charlene's 23 years in the mortgage industry and her personal expert knowledge in the Santa Clarita Valley makes her your mortgage expert. Contact Charlene at hometownstation.com/Charlene. That's hometownstation.com/Charlene.
Hi, Kirk Stinson here with Plumbing by Kirk, your hometown plumber. I want to stress to you how important it is to get proper advice on what to do in case of emergencies. Always know where your shutoff valves are to be able to isolate it and have the problem taken care of on regular hours and avoid expensive plumbing bill.
We invite you to visit our website for free plumbing advice at plumbingbykirk.com or give us a call, 263-6519. That's 263-6519.
My dad is the best plumber ever. Plumbing by Kirk. What's the perfect way to end the weekend? Sunday brunch at Salt Creek Grill, of course. Wind down with delectable dishes off Salt Creek's award-winning menu and enjoy a glass of champagne, because after all, you deserve it. Make Sunday brunch at Salt Creek Grill a new tradition with your family and friends. Salt Creek Grill in Valencia on Town Center Drive in front of the movie theater. For reservations, 222-9999 or go online to saltcreekgrill.com.
City of Hope is a world leader in cancer research and treatment. And there's a City of Hope community practice location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer: distance to quality care. Santa Clarita benefits from City of Hope's compassionate care and renowned clinical expertise. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
Buying your home can sometimes be challenging. That's why Charlene Gill with CSMC Mortgage is your Santa Clarita mortgage expert. What's important to you is to secure a loan at the best possible rate, to have a professional guide you through the process, and to close on time. Charlene's 23 years in the mortgage industry and her personal expert knowledge in the Santa Clarita Valley makes her your mortgage expert. Contact Charlene at hometownstation.com/Charlene. That's hometownstation.com/Charlene.
First impressions say it all. Choosing the right makeup is critical to that first impression and keeping your skin looking young and healthy. That's why Santa Clarita's Jen Gerard created Gerard Cosmetics. Inspired by women of all ages who gravitate toward classic and timeless beauty with a modern twist, Gerard Cosmetics. Superb quality and pigmentation, along with lip glosses and lipsticks in colors for everyone. The internationally acclaimed Gerard Cosmetics. Discover your new look at GerardCosmetics.com. Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
Hometown, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Mine on? I am definitely feeling stronger. Wow, that's a long Rocky, but I love it. Rocky's very, very enthusiastic. In fact, it's going to be going on longer than I am. Wow.
Well, we apologize for that interruption and for that.
We apologize for technical difficulties. We're at KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM.
That was the first time we've experienced that, and we apologize to our speaker who's
Deepak, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yay!
Okay, that's fine. I can definitely hear you. So
He's
now,
back.
since we took that long commercial break, we're going to just dig right in and go through those hard questions.
All right. Let's
Are
get
you
into
ready?
it.
Yes, I'm ready.
You know that I'm a lawyer by training. Anyway, I'll try not to cross-examine you too hard. So, quick question for you, okay? Our listeners are mostly small business owners in the Santa Clarita Valley throughout Los Angeles, and they have their own retail businesses, most of them, but they're also going online and trying to learn how to do these things. So let me ask a question. Somebody that has no experience has a great video of something that they want to show about their store, and they want to put a YouTube video up. How are they going to get traffic, and how are they going to make money off that video?
That's a great question. So YouTube is very important because nowadays, it used to be YouTube was on your phone or your computer, but YouTube is now on your television. So, and the great part about YouTube is if you're a business that has professional stuff in it, you're a lawyer or you're a CPA or somebody, you can show off your company with a video and it can go global. And this is not only the United States. You could reach Canada, people in Europe. So if you're making some product or service that's pertaining, you go global. And the good thing is with Google, there's a lot of integration. So you take the YouTube video, you can integrate it into your Google listing, and a lot of other places. So, and it can really, be shared on your website and your social media. So I think anybody that's on the in a business right now should have videos on YouTube. It's like a must-have nowadays.
Now, what about, does that affect you if you have a YouTube video? Will that affect anything of like speed of your site or how much space you can have on your site? Does that affect
That's another very good question. So what you want to do is, if you are going to host the video, some people like to have their videos because they want to have certain videos that are exclusive. They're membership based, might be computer training or skill training. So what you can do is you can use a content delivery network that lets you basically take the video and it basically caches it so it doesn't slow down your website. And the other alternative way is you take the YouTube video and you can link it to your website where it's embedded. So there's ways to do that, and you can find one of the IT geeks or IT nerds to help you speed up that. So speeding up the site is very important, by the way. Google makes that one of the highest priorities when they show your website.
So for somebody who has YouTube videos, but they're seeing 20 views or 15 views, how do we get those views up into the thousands? What's this? I know there's no secret sauce, but is there a secret sauce?
Pay a lot of money.
So you can do, one is obviously you can do the route where you have something engaging and then you show it off at a trade show, or you have some advertising that you plug in through Facebook or Google. And Google actually has the biggest ad engine, AdWords. So there's also many other ways of doing that. One of the easiest ways is obviously make the video fun and engaging. Don't try to make it a commercial. Because people like to have, when they see your video, they're looking for something engaging. So you've got to make the experience something fun to watch, and there's something that's stories, what they call storytelling. So if you're a business, how did you start your business? Why you're in it? What's your passion? And the great thing about YouTube, you can actually see the video, so it's a lot more powerful than just text or even images.
So you have a restaurant, and you have one location, and you're in the corner of New Holland, Maine. I don't even know if that exists. But you're in the corner of New Holland, Maine. Hopefully there isn't a restaurant there. And again, how, to Patty's question, how are people going to know about your restaurant? So you got a video, and you've got sizzling steaks, sizzling taquitos, sizzling, barbecue, whatever you got. So that's really great, and people watching, they're going, wow, I want to get that, right? But how are you going to get, again, with the 20 views, I understand, what are you going to do, spend $10,000 in advertising? How are you going to get people to realize that, wow, that's a great sizzling steak, that I want to check out that restaurant?
It's all about the traffic. Yeah, traffic.
How do you get the traffic?
Yeah.
It takes time and effort, so you have to do some content writing to talk about the restaurant, show it off in PR, but also the video, has to be something, not just a dull video just show the restaurant. You might want to take back of the kitchen where people see all the chefs be in action, or maybe put an event together, organize an event where people come in through a charity, and then it's engaging. It makes the people, so it's kind of like you have to use it as part of an integrated marketing strategy. The video alone is just it's kind of like the showcase, but you have to still do other things. So it's an integrated marketing strategy. That's the key. Everything is connected.
So when you say connected, you're referring to beyond the video, you're referring to other social media sources?
So social is big, but one of the biggest things is content marketing, search engine optimization, and search engine advertising, SEM. So all those things connect up together and make your audience. Basically, it's called omni-channel. The big agencies now, Nike and all that they use, they call it omni-channel marketing. So all the channels are combined, including also maybe having a great idea for restaurants to have a big TV playing a video. That's important, yeah.
So how do videos go viral? Why are there some videos that
videos? So that's a really important thing to note. They really don't go viral themselves. They call it video seeding. So they have different networks that these videos are placed in. So there is some advertising and there's some ways to do that. So it just doesn't happen automatically. seeding the video. So that's called video seeding. That's done through big ad networks and also through some PR and some influencers. And influencers can help you quite a bit. So there's some influencers that might be connected to your audience, and you can have the influencer host the video for you.
Patty has a couple of questions, but before she goes on, I wanted to know, so what is the name of your company? It's a question she likes to ask.
PROS.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name of your company?
Pros, PROS.
Yes.
Oh, Pros, okay.
Pros.
So tell us all of what you, within your company, all of the services, you encompass all of the digital marketing. Do you do the SEO, the content marketing, all those things that you described? Are you a one-stop shop for a business owner who needs help with that entire piece of their business?
Right. So it's a lot about the strategy, because one site doesn't fit all. The good thing about the internet is that it's tracked and everything is measurable. So no matter if it's a big company or a small business, everybody has an open playing field, and it just depends on how you market yourself in a strategy. So a lot of it, and the good thing is nowadays, there's Google now has an automatic AI where there's going to be people are going to make appointments to your business, make restaurant appointments, all that automatically through the AI platform.
Do you know how that's going to work, or is that something new?
That's new, so it's going to be coming like in a few months. Google will have it. So basically, instead of somebody booking an appointment, making a phone call, the Google Assistant is going to make the phone call to the hair salon, and it's going to be all done automatically for the person.
It's almost scary, some of what...
Yes, AI is scary, but it is...
Why, you didn't know you had an appointment scheduled in 3 weeks?
Well,
Google did it for you.
What's crazy is, what's that thing in the house that you ask it to do? And
a home?
No, there's Alexa. I think her name is Alexa.
Alexa.
Yeah, do this, do that. I feel like someone's listening. Somebody's
Well, there is somebody listening. Siri.
Well, true.
All the information is reported back to Apple.
It's frightening. It's really kind of crazy. But technology.
You know that Ask Brian's going to be on Alexa in the next month.
Oh dear Lord. So let me ask you this.
They're going to ask who the host is.
I'm shaking my head. The digital side of business, that seems that in today's world that's completely trumping the advertisements in magazines and newspapers and all that. Do you see the written advertisers and the written word, the traditional old marketing, being completely out of the picture and sometime, and just just online being the main focus of business growth?
It's it's got to be part of an integrated marketing strategy, but the internet is moving a lot faster, and it has a lot more ways to. So it's evolving. That's the thing. And the problem with print and all these other mediums, they haven't evolved as fast. So it's tough for them. They have to catch up in some way or integrate it part of the online marketing strategy.
Yeah. It seems like the internet has leveled the playing field for business owners. I mean, there are people who are starting out with a very conservative budget, and they can get an online presence with social media and slow growth. But it's nice to see that with the internet and the social media and everything else, people can earn income and create ways to supplement their income. And like I said, just level the playing field.
Well, it certainly has allowed people with lesser budgets to come online and start a business. On the other hand, if you're competing for a product that's almost a commodity or something that's really, really popular out there, it still is extremely difficult. If you've got, if you came out with a new toilet paper and you tried to advertise it on the internet, and Charmin comes out and spends $10 billion on advertising, yes, the playing field may be less in this respect that you can become number one by paying the most amount of money for your PPC campaign. But down the road, unless your product starts to make revenue pretty quickly, the small guys still are going to run out of revenue against the big boys. Yeah,
the big boys and the little guy, yes, absolutely. But the majority of America who wants to start an online business, that is kind of a nice option for them. That's the playing field that.
Well, and I think that you have to have an online presence no matter, even if you're the furniture store. The reality is you have to have some type of presence. It's almost like in the old days with the yellow pages. You have to at least be in the directory. You may not have to have the full page, back page ad, but you still need to have a little something that people can find you, because otherwise, technology is going to allow, again, as you say, the playing field, other people to come on board that, maybe the guy is doing furniture in North Dakota and he can sell it and ship it to you in sunny California at half the price because his workers are less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah.
that definitely is out there. But let's get back to
yes, questions.
our
So
guest.
share Deepak, your contact information. We're going to let you do that again at the end of the show. But for right now, just go ahead and tell listeners your website.
It's internetsearchinc.com.
Internetsearchinc.com. Okay, awesome.
So is there an SEO component to your company then?
You have to, yeah. You have to have SEO because SEO is important because Google is here to help you, and you want to make sure you do the best in your capability to help people find you. And one of the biggest things small businesses overlook are just very simple, like SEO stuff. Just having the right title and the right name of the business. And if you have a weird name, sometimes people like to pick weird names for their businesses. And you have to make sure the name is pertinent to what you do. And if it's not, you can use some of the information on your site to explain what you do. And so Google is when people are trying to find you through Google, they will look at the SEO is basically to help them guide you. It's almost like a GPS to your business.
So knowing those keywords is crucial.
So if somebody, sorry.
I was going to ask if a business owner had, let's say somebody's brand new and they've got $1,000 to spend for
that was
now.
my question.
I knew that. So they had $1,000 to spend. What would you tell them to do first? What's the most important way to spend that money?
I would say talk to an expert and understand and explain your goals. So look at your goals and then develop a marketing strategy that fits you. Because one size never fits all on the internet. So it's always about what you want and how you want to accomplish it. And usually the right expert will advise you, don't do this, do more of this. Like B2B, a lot more B2B stuff doesn't really pertain to Facebook. B2B is more geared towards LinkedIn and business users.
Right.
So there's a very different strategy in businesses and people that are doing maybe technical engineering stuff. If there's an engineering contractor versus a restaurant, it's a completely different audience. And you want to specify the audience that you're targeting, the demographic, the persona. So that's also important, yeah.
But there's so many people out there claiming to be these experts, and there's so many people saying, I've got this social media down and the SEO down. How do you know who to trust?
That's a great question. So obviously you want to ask them some questions and maybe tell them. So you would have to interview them just like you would if you're hiring somebody as an employee, and then maybe give them a month and telling them that, okay, this is what I want to do and how would we plan to do this. And not everybody is a fit for every business. Some people, are specialized in local businesses. Some people are specialized in only online businesses. Some people focus on retail. So it's a lot of questions asking them, and obviously you get 3 references from them, and you can see their past. The good thing about the internet, they can show you past work of what they've done and what they've accomplished. So that's the good thing about the internet. You can search and see what they've done, and once you see that, you'll be able to see what results they've done in a similar business or a new business. And the thing is, the person that's with you is going to not try to give you one size fits all. That's the key. So you want to find somebody that gives you specific to your business, understand your business. And he might even tell you maybe you're not ready for the internet. You have to get your logo down. You have to get your business because some organizations haven't done their internal organization really in a very seamless manner. So you have to make yourself efficient. If somebody calls you or somebody follows up with you from the internet, like on Facebook or Google or a phone call, you want to deliver customer service. If you don't, you're going to get a bad review.
Right. So does your company work with all types of businesses, all types of both online and offline marketing, or what's your specialty?
We work with a lot of businesses who have offline presence and some online, so we want to improve their online. Some are completely online, so we want to help them. And a lot of businesses that we work with have only done print media, traditional media, so we're helping them get to the online media. And they're new to the online media, unfortunately. They get hit by some of the bigger companies that are just, some companies, unfortunately, have only salespeople. And that's unfortunately bad because then they'll get a bad experience. So the beginning of the process is obviously understanding your goals. So you want to define what you want to do in the next year. That's important, yeah.
Sometimes that's hard to, people don't have that handle. They have this grand idea but not really dialed in the roadmap that they've got to take.
Well, you're talking about $1,000 budget, right? And you're talking about going to an expert. And it sounds to me like the expert you're referring to, which, by the way, people can always go to Ask Brien for an expert. But it sounds to me like, you're talking about a generalist, okay? Because, again, a generalist has knowledge about a lot of different areas. But so it sounds to me like first you'd have to go to a generalist, and then the generalist would come up with a plan, and then you can go with the Facebook expert or the YouTube expert, because with a $1,000 budget, you're probably going to have to limit your options. That's one part of the question. The other part is there one specific industry that goes better with one specific type of form? So, for instance, Facebook goes with this industry, or YouTube works better with this industry. So
that's a great question too. So what you want to do is you don't want to limit yourself, because the $1,000 basically is your trial. You're basically launching yourself on the internet. So it's kind of like you're a new star. You're the new Michael Jackson. You're gonna play your song, and you want people to know who you are. So basically, you develop an integrated marketing. You do a little bit of everything, and you can see then by the end of the month, you can see what works, and then you focus on that. And Facebook is generally really good for certain businesses, local, and B2C, business to consumer. But B2B business, somebody that's doing training for ERP systems or doing work for engineering, civil engineering. So they're going to focus more on a different type of channel. So these are all called marketing channels. And knowing marketing channels, usually people that have been around like me, I've been doing this 20 years, and you really know what marketing channel works for what industry. And the good thing is, we can, on the back office, you can see all the behavior and the measurements that are coming through. So you can identify where your traffic is coming from, what the good quality of the traffic is, and what's the bad quality. And that's a great thing about the internet, is that everything is measurable, unlike print or radio or television. You measure everything down to the bits and bytes.
That's powerful. It's to know that you can determine what's the best use of your money, what's not working, what's working.
So what do you think is a minimum budget for a new business then to start?
I think the business, it's sustained and has to be consistent, and the messaging has to be very clear and lucid, and has to be very consistent. So if your print, your logo, your business cards, your signage, everything has to have the same logo, same message. Just do it. Like Nike is an example, obviously. But smaller businesses, this is a good example, by the way. This is crazy. Like Ross, the store, and they put Dress for Less on their logo. And everybody I talk to, whenever they mention Ross, they mention Dress for Less. And I go, man, this is like subliminal advertising.
Yeah.
So right inside their logo, they mention Dress for Less. And now everybody says Dress for Less. It's like a free advertising for them.
Yeah.
So it's like really like how they did that. There's some really cool ways when you do something, and like when we worked with Intuit on a project, they did a TurboTax rap contest, rap about taxes, and it got coverage on CNN, it got coverage on radio, television, print, online. And they got about $5 million in free advertising for a $25,000 contest.
Wow.
So I mean, these big companies are also savvy, and the consumers are very savvy. So they're looking for a good experience. They're looking for a good dinner. They're looking for a good business that's going to help them. And a lot of businesses, unfortunately, I noticed this, they haven't really put themselves on the internet fully. And they lose business because of that. More than almost 70% of the people that go to a retail business start out on the mobile. They start searching on the Google mobile before they enter the business store.
There's a lot of individuals we've had as speakers who are coaches, and a lot of service providers. They don't have a product. Their product is themselves, and they're coaching or consulting. What would you say to that as far as the important? I know it's important, but what would be the best route for someone like that to take, and what kind of budget would they need to get launched without having a brick and mortar store and a product per se?
I think they have to do the education route. So you have to make education videos, education materials, write about stuff that's important for their customer or potential customer. Then it takes effort and time, obviously. The thing is, it's a long-term strategy. You keep producing videos. You make information that's important. Like if you're a CPA, you want to talk about how you can save taxes, and videos about how to fill out some, how to do deductions, how to get healthcare deductions, all these things. And the more you do, the more you do, you build your brand. It's brand building. It's still the traditional, the fundamentals of marketing, and you're doing that, but now you're doing it with a new marketing channel, new media. Yeah.
So constantly bringing value, of course, and like you said, education, teaching them so that they want to come back for more.
How does
Exactly.
How does SEO and PPC work in the video world?
SEO and PPC in video?
Yeah.
So SEO is basically you want to make sure your video information is, when you put the video in, it's got the right title and the right information describing what the video does. And then PPC, what it does is you can do Google. You can actually run Google Ads, right? They call it a pre-roll. You can run your video before somebody else's video. Like if somebody's going to visit San Diego and you're a restaurant in the Gaslamp district, you can run a video that talks about your restaurant. So anybody that's visiting San Diego now gets to see your restaurant video when they're about to come to San Diego. So that's an example of that. And then you can also run different ways to broadcast it on your website, where people will look at the video and then give them like a little sign up saying, hey, you saw the video, would you like to sign up for an appointment? And you always want to use some kind of a call to action. If you want the people to do something, if you're looking for a lead or a person that you want to come to your business, that's one of the biggest things that we see is that people miss the call to action. They just put the information, but you should tell them to do something after that.
They need direction.
Exactly.
Have you done any contests?
We've done some. Yeah, obviously, the Intuit was a big one, but the contest is a strategic thing, and it doesn't work for every business, but it's great when you have, like mediums. I think that's one of the biggest things that radio can help in is running more contests. I think that's the great power of radio. So I think power of the radio integrated with internet is a very powerful medium. Make a landing page that's pertinent to your audience. You're giving away a 1 week free experience, 1 week free stay maybe for a hotel that they can go to Las Vegas and enjoy it. And I think some of those things are going to be, especially in travel and tourism and certain industries. So, or maybe you're a CPA, you give basically one free tax return to a lucky customer every month. So there's certain things that can be done to really get awareness.
Is it also done to collect emails or no?
It's obviously, yeah. So you basically get the emails, and then you're going to run an email marketing strategy. And email is still one of the oldest marketing strategies, but it's still one of the best. Emails are golden. We actually had a friend actually set up a small tablet and iPad on one of the coffee shops, and it was just a sign up to get a free muffin with a coffee. And he would get 50 emails signing up on his small business on the iPad.
Wow.
And a lot of the people that signed up on the email never even had a social media account.
That's powerful. And the great thing about email too is that it's so inexpensive to maintain. It's, you're not sending out, there's no stamp and letter. It's so easy and cheap. We're hearing something back there. Can you hear us okay?
Deepak, you there?
I think we might have lost him again.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. We
So
lost you there.
what is your greatest success in marketing?
I think it was the initial work we did. We started a visitor's guide in Nashville, and it went beyond our imagination. It went to like people in Europe were asking us for. So this was before the country music guys had their own country, Convention Visitors Bureau had their own website. And we ended up being like the place everybody would come to learn about like where the latest country music event is happening.
And what did you do for them? Did you do SEO? Did you do...
We actually launched a visitor's guide. So it was a tourism guide, and it was funded by advertising. And it became like incredible because we had a passionate person on our team about country music in the city. So we were actually a lot of people would come and see us, and they would see us as a guide especially for the different attractions and sightseeing in Nashville. So, and we got awards, and we got mentioned from we had people from Germany, everywhere, all around the globe. And this is back in late 90s, like 98, 99.
Late 90s? That was Google even around back then?
Google wasn't around. It was Yahoo and Alta Vista. So the search engines were just starting, yeah.
Now, that's a name from the past, Alta Vista.
I remember that. Oh, my gosh, that's aging us. Okay, we're down to a minute. We're going to go to a commercial in a minute. Deepak, really quickly, go ahead and tell us your website again for those who's tuning in.
It's internetsearchinc.com.
Okay, wonderful.
And what do you have on that site?
We'll come back to that.
Basically, we talk about what we do. Yeah, we do a lot of the marketing and a lot of the technology that we use to do the marketing. Yeah.
Okay, we'll expand on that when we come back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM. We'll be right back.
The stress was unbelievable.
Debbie Morris is a changed woman.
A giant boulder's been lifted.
Debbie called Made for You.
I'd finished a day of work.
Professional, residential, and commercial cleaning.
Walk into my house.
Made for You.
It was an absolute pigsty.
Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or even one-time seasonal cleaning.
Our mess kept growing.
255-2922.
Even when we weren't home.
255-2922.
Made for You rescued me.
Have you heard about Assistance League Retail Store? For a good time and a great deal and bargains that are an amazing steal, there are friendly volunteers ready to share a smile. So come on in and stay a while. We take donations on gently used goods, and proceeds from our sales stay in the neighborhood. So for a great buy and a special find, come visit our store anytime. Assistance League Resale Store located at 24369 Main Street in downtown Newhall.
Santa Clarita Water has a long history of safe, reliable water service. SCV Water is dedicated to increasing efficiencies, protecting our vital resources, and improving their customers' experiences. That's you. Meet them at their new home on the web at yourscvwater.com. There you can find the latest news, rebates, and much more. That's yourscvwater.com. They can't wait to serve you.
Hey, it's Billy Currington.
Billy Currington, back on tour live in Santa Clarita, Friday, May 11th.
That's how country boys roll.
Buy tickets now at bbqandbeerfestival.com. bbqandbeerfestival.com.
Party's rocking.
Billy Currington live in concert, one night only.
God is great, beer's good, and people are crazy.
Craft beer, great barbecue, and Billy Currington with special guest Locash. Space is limited. Don't miss Billy Currington live Friday, May 11th, Central Park, Santa Clarita.
I'm pretty good at drinking beer.
Get tickets now at bbqandbeerfestival.com. That's bbqandbeerfestival.com.
Totally awesome.
Barbecue.
A California Beer Festival production, sponsored by Budweiser.
Step into a hot shower or slip on a warm t-shirt fresh from the dryer, and you can feel the comfort natural gas gives us every day. For over 100 years, Southern California Gas Company has provided safe, reliable natural gas service. It warms our homes, powers cleaner vehicles, and cooks our food at a fraction of the cost of other energy sources with less environmental impact, today and for decades to come. Natural gas, part of the clean energy solution. Learn more at SoCalGas.com. Search solution.
Yes. Good afternoon, Los Angeles. You knew I was going to do that. KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. I am not giving up my trademark. Deepak, you there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we were talking a little earlier about Facebook is probably the pioneering site, I would say, where most people go to test. Would that be correct?
Facebook is one of the sites, so it's actually engagement. Facebook engagement has gone a lot lower, and Instagram engagement is a lot higher. And obviously, depending on your audience, YouTube is higher for certain things, and then there's obviously Google searches. So I think everything is dependent on the the demographics. Certain demographics are looking at certain things on the internet. So that's the key.
So which demographic would be best? Would you want to use Instagram for?
Instagram is the younger millennials, and they love Instagram. Instagram stories. And basically, when Snapchat was not going to sell to Facebook, they launched Instagram stories, and now it's one of the biggest engaging features. And these are the 20-year-olds and the teenagers. They love Instagram.
Now, not everybody knows Instagram, so can you give it like a 15 or 20-second quickie to the people out there? I mean, some people just say, well, there's a whole bunch of pictures. It's no different than Pinterest. So can you go over the differences?
It's basically storytelling with pictures and video. So Instagram stories are the videos, and then Instagram itself is pictures. And it's basically social media because now you can integrate the tags to different categories and different places. And then again, the social aspect is people are going to come and engage with you just like Facebook. But now, and the big thing about Instagram is it's all driven by mobile, which is the future. And Facebook actually missed the boat on mobile. And that's why they had no choice but to get Instagram. And Facebook basically became irrelevant. Actually, that's kind of crazy. It was almost irrelevant.
Yeah, I actually love Instagram, and I'm a lot older than 20s. I won't say the number out loud.
Yes, but I act that way.
The Instagram movies isn't there like a 20-second minimum or a 30-second minimum or maximum, I should say, that you have?
There's stories are basically like quick short videos, and actually they started that to engage. But obviously, the whole goal would be if you want a longer video, then you tell them to go to your YouTube. So it's kind of like or you go to the website and you can check out more information about it. Whole goal of Instagram, Facebook, obviously, is to get people to go to your website or contact you to learn more about you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, I'm looking at Ask Brien. Ask Brien has 25,800 followers on Instagram. So I don't know if that's average.
That's
medium.
huge. You got 25,000 followers on Instagram?
25,800.
How'd you do that?
They like me. They like that.
That's fantastic.
They like that. Good afternoon, Los Angeles.
You know what? That's probably not the reason, but that's good. I can see Deepak's eyes rolling right now. Is there anything?
That's amazing on a radio show.
Yeah. Can you, with Instagram, like you're saying, refer back to the website or contact information and whatnot? And I know it's important to sprinkle in personal stuff with the business stuff. It shouldn't be all one or the other.
You would want to, you want to talk about, you want to be real. So if you're a chef of a restaurant, you want to show your personality. You're hanging out. I think that's the cool thing about social. You can be real, and they can see the inside. You can kind of connect with your audience in a very personal manner. Mm-hmm. That's the key thing that you can't do on a website. But on social, they see you. You've got your dog. You're at the farmer's market buying all these nice vegetables for your recipe. So it's kind of like a cool way to connect with your audience. And having your contact info and your website is, obviously going to help on Instagram to get people to know more about you.
Is it better to put a video on your I know you can put a minute-long video in your Instagram page versus doing that in your story? Is there an advantage or disadvantage or one of the
I would try both. Yeah, obviously it depends on the audience again, and then the whole thing about the internet is trial and error. You want to see what works, and then once something works, you repeat that formula to get more engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so not everything works for every brand. That's the key.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. How much money would you budget to test something, and to be?
I would say I would do a minimum. I want to get at least 1,000 people. So I would say start with a couple of hundred a month, a couple of hundred a week, and then go with that, and then you can see in 1 week what happened, and then you can increment further.
How do you know that it's working?
Because you would have somebody look at the back. What worked, how many people came in, and what they did, and and who contacted you. You want to measure everything. That's the key. So before you do that experiment, we call it an experiment, you want to set up all the way to measure everything. That's the key.
So if you spent $250 in a week, okay, and you're a restaurant, how would you? What number would you need to say you're successful?
So you would look at average customer value. Well, we call it CLV. So the customer's going to come back to you. You have to know your customer lifetime value. So if customer comes in, you see the average price of customer coming in that they buy is $30, and you want them to come back. So maybe they're going to come back once a month. That's a $260 annual value for that customer. You might be coming 10 years, so that's a $3,600 value for that customer. So my customer acquisition cost, if I spend $50 to get a $3,600 customer, that's worth it.
And how do you measure to know that they came in through Instagram or whatever?
You can ask them, obviously, but also, there's ways to know, like, obviously, when they're coming in the restaurant, you want to ask them, make sure, and give them a special, give them a promo thing. You're coming for the first time, you get a free dessert for the dinner. So give them some offer that entices them to come in.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking, that if you have some type of way to connect the customer to the actual person in your store, because it's not an online business, that's probably the best way to do it. We're going to be wrapping up soon. We've got just a little bit more time, so we want to go again back over your company and your site. Does your company have programs set up for small business owners?
We do, yes.
And are those limited specifically to just marketing, or are there other things that you offer?
Well, it's the technology. There's some technologies available to help them get the word out. So obviously it's turned into a lot more technical now than it used to be. So we do have a lot of technology that can help them get out there on Google or social, et cetera.
Okay, so one last time, share your website.
It's internet search, inc.com.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You're listening to AskBrien.com.
Thank you very much.
See you next time.